I never thought a simple dinner would turn into something that made me question my entire relationship with my girlfriend. I've been dating Maya for a little over 2 years. When we first met, everything felt easy between us. She was outgoing, confident, and the kind of person who could walk into any room and instantly make friends. I'm a lot more reserved, but somehow our personalities balanced each other out. For most of our relationship, we rarely argued about anything serious. The biggest disagreements we had were usually about small things like where to eat or what movie to watch. Because of that, I always believed we trusted each other completely. A few weeks ago, Maya told me she wanted to have dinner with one of her coworkers after work. She said the coworker had just gotten promoted and a few people from the office were planning to celebrate. I didn't think anything of it. I told her to have fun and asked her to text me when she got home safely. That evening she left the apartment around 7. Everything seemed normal. Around 9 I checked my phone and realized she hadn't messaged me yet, but I assumed she was still at dinner. About an hour later I opened social media and saw something that made me pause. One of Maya's coworkers had posted a photo from the dinner. In the picture there were only 2 people sitting at the table. Maya and a guy the first had never seen before. There was no group celebration, no other coworkers, just the 2 of them having what looked like a quiet dinner together. At first I told myself not to jump to conclusions. Maybe the others arrived later or maybe they left earlier. But the more I looked at the photo, the stranger it felt. The caption said, "Great catching up tonight." That didn't sound like a team celebration at all. When Maya got home later that night she acted completely normal. She told me dinner was good and that everyone had a nice time celebrating the promotion. I asked casually how many people were there and she said around 5 or 6. That's when I realized she was clearly lying. I didn't mention the photo right away because I wanted to see if she would eventually tell the truth on her own. Over the next few days the situation kept bothering me more and more. Finally I decided to ask her directly about it. I showed her the photo and asked why it looked like she was alone with that guy when she told me it was a group dinner. The moment she saw the picture her expression changed. She immediately said it wasn't what it looked like. According to her, the other coworkers cancelled at the last minute and it ended up just being the 2 of them. I asked why she didn't mention that when she came home. She said she didn't think it was important and didn't want me to misunderstand the situation. I told her that hiding something like that is exactly what creates misunderstandings. If she had simply told me the truth from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have thought much about it. But now it felt like she intentionally changed the story to avoid telling me she had dinner alone with another guy. She insisted the dinner was purely professional and that the guy was just a coworker she occasionally talks to at work. But the more we talked about it, the more defensive she became. She said I was being insecure and overreacting to something harmless. I tried to explain that the issue wasn't the dinner itself but the fact that she lied about it afterward. Trust has always been the most important part of our relationship, and once you start questioning someone's honesty it's hard to ignore that feeling. Now every time she tells me about work or mentions a coworker I find myself wondering if there's more to the story that I'm not hearing. I don't know if I'm making this situation bigger than it needs to be, or if this is one of those moments where a small lie reveals a bigger problem underneath. All I know is that something that once felt simple between us suddenly feels a lot more complicated than it did before. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos.